In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning, that's when God created time. There was no time until God created it. When He created time, it started. When God created time, He also created the heavens. But they weren't full of stars like you think, because He hadn't made the stars yet. And it's that black thing that you see on your screen right now. And the reason for that is He hasn't created light yet. So the heavens were just a big black space. At the same time, He created the earth. But it didn't look like this. In verse 2, God tells us it is empty and without form. Sort of like this. Now, what was that first sentence in the Bible again? Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, if you make something like the earth, you have to have a place to put it. So He had to make space, which is the heavens, so He could put the earth inside the heavens. And once He did all that, time started. Well, that was just the first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1. Let's go on to Genesis 1:2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now God is calling the earth the deep, so we think it might be water, but it's dark. There's a new thing in this verse. The Spirit of God is hovering over the water. Now so far, we know that the heavens and the earth have been created. Part of science is called physics, and God already started physics with time and space and stuff, which we're going to call the earth. Now the Holy Spirit is going to create two more forms of physics, energy and motion. Now the Holy Spirit is hovering over the water. What is hovering? This part of the Bible was written in the Hebrew language. We changed it into English so that we could understand it. But that word hovering means brooding. Do you know what brooding is? Did you ever see a mother hen and her baby chicks, and sometimes she shakes her wings and all the babies run underneath, and they stay warm and she protects them? That's called brooding. To do that, she uses a lot of energy, and she moves her wings. That is motion. Even before the chicks are born, the mother hen pulls the eggs under her wings. Now in the Bible, it's the Holy Spirit who is creating this energy and motion. Hey kids, remember in verse 1 we said the earth is not a round ball yet? And it could be at this time that the Holy Spirit formed the earth into a ball as we know it today. Ooh, that was cool too. This is Niagara Falls that has a lot of power. This is Grand Coulee Dam, which takes the water and turns it into electricity. Inside the dam there are things called turbines. They spin around because the water makes them spin. And when they spin, they create electricity, which is energy. Well, it takes a lot of power to run a train, and that's energy. But the train is moving pretty fast. That's motion. In the first two verses, God created science. And science is a bunch of different things. There's time. You know what time is. There's space. There's stuff. That's called mass. And there's energy, power, like electricity and stuff like that. and there's motion. When you move, that's motion. And God created all that kind of stuff, and it's called science. You don't know much about science now, but you will someday. We already talked about verses 1 and 2 of Genesis. Let's talk about verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Genesis 1:4. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Well, the first part is pretty easy to understand. God made the light, and He liked it. Okay, the separating the light from the darkness part is sort of hard to explain. Now, you've seen the moon up in the sky, and everything around it is black, so the light is separated from the darkness. But God has not made the moon yet. So, what's up? Okay, if God can separate light and dark using the moon, He can do it without the moon. Hey! What did you do with the moon? God can do anything. So all He's done is put light in part of the universe, and He's put dark in the other part of the universe. And we're going to find out what He does with all that later. Genesis 1:5. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Well, that makes sense to me. Day is light, dark is night. Now look at the next part. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Now there's a lot of argument about that, even among Christians. Remember I said this part of the Bible was written in the Hebrew language? What it says in Hebrew is, and there was evening and there was morning, one day. Now there's a lot of people, even church people, that are going to tell you that that one day means 1,000,000 years or even more. So who are you going to believe? God, who said one day, or people who don't know how to read Hebrew? God said one day. I believe it. Do you? And that is only what God did on the first day. This is not the end. There are 5 more creation days left.